Hi everybody, this is Denny Chapman and we're talking about tack today. I recently replaced my cinch latigo here. I've noticed after about a year and a half hard use in all different types of weather conditions, I had a little bit of dry rot on my old cinch strap, my old latigo strap. So I replaced it with a brand new one from Buckaroo Leather. I just want to give you a couple of tips here when putting on a new cinch latigo, or even when you're just cinching up, tightening up your saddle. I always like to use the tongue on the D-ring whenever I can. But when you've got a lot of extra slack, or the tongue doesn't match up exactly where you want on the hole, you can always tie a cowboy knot. So as you can see, I've got just a couple of wraps here. I don't like more than 3. 2 is ideal. 3 is about the max I'll go. If you get any more than that, you get a whole big bunch of leather here, and it inhibits your communication with the horse, and actually can eventually rub them a little raw there. So I've run it through my tongue through the appropriate hole. I've got quite a bit of slack, about 2.5 feet, so I'm going to run it back through the D-ring on my saddle. This is a flat plate rigging on a wade tree saddle. I like these wade trees because they sit me really close to my horse and give me good communication. Now at this point, a lot of people make a big mistake, and you might be one of them. Most people just pull straight down and tighten this up. I'm going to show you what happens. And that's the wrong thing to do. You see how that's over to the side? This was meant to overlap about halfway, and it's meant to have some friction there. This can actually work loose, and that's the wrong way to do it. I'm going to loosen it back up, and I'm going to show you the right way. Now let's say we've passed it underneath, we've got our slack. Instead of pulling it straight down, I'm going to pull it up and take that slack right out and then pull it down. You see how much more overlap I've got here? It's almost halfway overlapping this one, and that's the way it was meant to be. That's the friction we want to create, leather on leather, and that will hold that cinch together. Even if our tongue comes loose, or we didn't have our tongue through the hole, that knot will hold this cinch. And as you can see, it's not a big bulky knot. We still have good communication with our horse. Now I've got about 2.5 feet of this latigo left over, and I have a couple things I can do with it. I can tuck it through the keeper on my saddle here, and that's in pretty nice shape. There's about 1 foot and a couple inches hanging down. It won't flop so much. It's not really long. It won't hit him down in the leg and distract him, nor is it so short that it eventually would work itself out and hang down anyway. One of the other things we can do is pass it through the rear cinch ring of the saddle, like so. You can go from outside to inside or inside to outside. It really doesn't matter. If it's long enough, you can even pass it back through the keeper here, and I've had to do that on some really small horses. So that's a little tip for you today on cinch latigos. I really like my Buckaroo Leather stuff, folks. This is an alpaca cinch from Buckaroo Leather. They've got all kinds of neat stuff. It's a family-owned company. It's all American made, 30 years of experience, and Buckaroo Leather is the brand I demand.